first in HD. 12 News Daybreak starts now.
Police searching for a man who robbed a Port Arthur restaurant overnight. We're going to tell you what they know so far. The mayor of Jasper now weighing in on allegations of police brutality in the city, what the city leader is saying about the investigation and those involved in it. And the investigation intensifies into those letters sent to elected officials containing the deadly poison ricin. We'll show you the latest images being released. Good morning, everybody. It's finally Friday, the last day of May 31st. Thanks so much for waking up with us on 12 News Daybreak. I'm Tracy Kennick, and Greg Picasso has the morning off.
And I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber.
And when I was coming in, it was like 78 degrees, something like that.
That's what it is,
Isn't that crazy? I mean,
nice
this early, it's 5 o'clock.
Did you run into any rain?
I did. A couple of raindrops.
There are a couple of spotty showers. We're going to see that throughout the day. Your forecast for today, I'm thinking temperatures are going to be in the 70s for this morning. As we get into later on this afternoon, we'll get into the 80s, right around about 87 for a high. And then as we head towards this evening, we'll still be looking at temperatures back down into the lower 80s. 20% chance of a spotty shower as we go through the morning and afternoon with a south wind between 10 and 15 miles per hour.
You don't have them just all those numbers in your head memorized.
I do.
Most of them.
I do, but I just want to make sure they're up there and
right,
before I start talking about them. Yeah, there you go.
All right, thanks so much.
All right.
Well, leave from overnight, Port Arthur police say they're searching for a man they say robbed a church's chicken at gunpoint. It happened around 10:30 last night in the 2200 block of Gulfway Drive. Officers saying employees were closing the store and a masked gunman entered the store demanding money. The robber then grabbed an undisclosed amount of money and got away. Police combed the area, but they were unable to find the suspect. No one was injured, thankfully, but anyone with information is being asked to contact the Port Arthur Police Department. Police in Vidor were also busy last night chasing down an armed robber. Around 10:45, the suspect held up the country pantry located in the 1000 block of Orange Street. Nobody was hurt, but we will have further information on that crime as it becomes available to us. Jasper Mayor Mike Lout says he'll call for an investigation separate from the police departments into those accusations of police brutality. Mayor Lout says he did not like what he saw in a video 12 News first aired Wednesday night. In it right here, you see Khrystene Diggles being pushed, grabbed, and at one point, her head gets slammed against a countertop, and the mayor calls their actions unprofessional. Diggles claims she did nothing to provoke the two officers, and not only did she come forward with her story, but she's also now being represented by the Bernson law firm. The two officers have been identified as Ricky Grissom and Ryan Cunningham. The incident happened May 5th, but they remained on duty until Thursday when the mayor suggested to their supervisor to place them on paid leave, which he did.
If someone had, a minority had, for instance, seen that video, and then one of those individuals stopped them on the street, it might cause, what we say, negative comments between the two, and then the next thing you know, we've got another situation on our hand. I just didn't think we needed that possibility.
The police department has issues, and this is yet another sad day in the history of Jasper.
We've also learned from Mayor Lout that one of the officers being investigated in the case had a complaint filed against him just a few weeks ago. The mayor told us he could not tell us which officer, but sources close to the investigation have told us that Ricky Grissom is that officer. We're told that as punishment, he received a day off without pay. However, we don't know the nature of that complaint. Well, a North Beaumont neighborhood is mourning the loss of a father of 3 this morning after the man was found dead in a wooded area off Magnolia yesterday morning. Police are investigating the death as a homicide. The victim has been identified as 32-year-old Sammy Lee Hightower III. Police say family members who lived with Hightower in the home on Prince Street noticed he was missing about 5 that morning. They later found his body about 100 yards from his home and said they believed he had been shot. Police have not yet confirmed that, but could use any information you have about the case.
He been on my mind all day just for some odd reason. Then I come out the house, walk over here, I find out what happened. I don't see how you kill somebody in cold blood and just leave them laying right there like that.
Police are not reporting any arrests at this time, and they are awaiting autopsy results to determine the official cause of death. Beaumont ISD trustees meeting in a special meeting last night at the district administration building. Among the topics discussed, handling state budget cuts to education. It was the first in a series of budget-related meetings planned before the start of the fiscal year on October 1st. It appears Beaumont ISD teachers may not get a raise or incentive pay this year, and they may have to start paying into their own health insurance plans for the first time. That could tally up to an additional $69 a month out of each educator's paycheck. In addition to all that, curriculum coordinators and an assistant principal were hired. Landowners near Winnsboro, Texas, have asked that the U.S. Department of Transportation investigate what they call dozens of anomalies on the Keystone pipeline. They say dents and bad welds have been found on a 60-mile stretch of the pipeline north of Tyler and near 130. Landowners say that TransCanada has been digging up buried portions of the pipeline for the past 2 weeks, and some of which had been laid for almost 6 months. They're fearful that it could indicate a faulty pipeline that could pose a health and safety risk. The U.S. trying to get Syria's government and its rebels together to talk peace, but there's a new twist in that effort this morning. Word that missiles may be headed to Syria from Russia. The U.S. says Russia is a key player here, but it's not clear if Russia is playing on our side or not. The U.S. is trying to get both sides to sit down together at a peace conference. Today in Washington, President Obama will meet with NATO Secretary General to talk about that. The U.S. admits it needs Syria's strongest ally, Russia, to cooperate.
We see them as an important partner on moving to a conference and moving to a political transition.
Russia wants the U.S. to forget about a no-fly zone over Syria. The White House says the president is still considering that proposition. Well, the investigation continues into those rice-and-lace letters sent to the president and New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. NBC News has obtained images of the threatening letter sent to Mayor Bloomberg last week in Manhattan that authorities suspect could possibly have contained the deadly toxin ricin. The new images show the May 20th postmark from Shreveport, Louisiana, where the letter was mailed. Mayor Bloomberg's address at City Hall and part of an anti-gun control threat were included in that letter. Authorities say the letter was intercepted, though, at a mail screening center in Manhattan.
We'll show you a pinpoint Doppler in just a little bit. It has some spotty showers on it. Also, we're looking at some very warm temperatures this morning. We'll have a forecast coming up.
And coming up on 12 News Daybreak, a fire still burning through the National Forest in California when the fire started and what residents are now being called on to do. It's 5:07. Thanks for starting your morning with 12 News Daybreak.